What's going on? What's going on? Damn, man. Every damn morning, this light is weird lately, man. Just shining on your face, even with tint. Whatever. But anyway, let's get into some boxing, man. I want to talk about things that Terrance Crawford could technically do. I've talked about it before, but it's been a while. So that, and the possibility is still available and it's there for him. So, I'm going to talk about it in this video real quick. Before I do that, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos. But anyway, all right, Terrance Crawford, he doesn't want to fight anybody that's not a champion on PBC, basically, right? He's made that very, very, very clear. He's not going to take on a Ugas. He's not going to take on a Porter. He's not going to take on a Thurman. Even a Lipyanits. All these guys that we would actually love to see him against, to see, so we can, he can be pushed a little bit, and we can, and he can actually be put into a space where he can really show us, and show us his skills, just due to the fact that he's fighting durable people that are not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? They can actually fight back. But he's choosing to say, nah, I'm not doing that. If you don't got a belt, quote, I'm not fighting you, and I want 50-50 when I fight you too. So there's a way that he can actually do that. There's a way where he can, fight for a belt, be the A side while fighting for that belt. Okay, still get his money that he wants. And then after that, get into an undisputed bout and be able to get a 50-50 split down the middle. There's no arguments. It can be a dual thing where it be with Showtime and Fox. With Showtime and ESPN, or it can be a dual fight with Fox and ESPN. It will be no problem. There'll be no issue when it comes to splitting the money. It will be a big fight, especially with the way Fox and promotes and Showtime promotes fights, and long as ESPN does its part, like they did with the Tyson Fury fight, the only fight, Fury versus Wilder, the only fight that they really, really pushed hard on ESPN as far as boxing's concerned. If they do that, the fight does 350, 400,000 pay-per-views or more. Easy. Terrance Crawford gets paid a whole bunch of money, and if everything works out for him, he becomes undisputed, and he becomes an A-side versus Errol Spence. And he puts himself to a position where Errol Spence got to come to him, because he's basically the man. Eventually, he got to come to him because he's now the man. And the way he can do that is due to the fact that at 147 pounds, he's a WBO champion. So if he wanted to, he could literally go up right now and fight for the 154-pound championship against Teixeira. He can do that right now and become a champion at 154 pounds. That's about where people, will believe that he's going to win the fight. But people would be interested in it just due to the fact that he's moving up to 154 pounds. And it'll be a big fight. That's a fight that I think on ESPN, believe it or not, do 1.5 million to 2 million views. I believe that fight does that on ESPN. So I believe that's what he should do. That's, if he doesn't want to fight any of these other guys, and he can't, obviously, he's not getting the champions, right now at 147 pounds, he can go to 54 pounds and get that belt. Then after he gets that belt, let's say a Charlo wins his fight against Rosario. Charlo wins his fight against Rosario, and they do good on pay-per-view, with the following and everything that he has right now, and the way that he's continuing to grow as a fighter and grow in popularity, he can now, you can do a unification bout with him for undisputed if he's able to beat Rosario, because he'll hold 3 of the belts. So now you got an undisputed match against Charlo with all 4 belts on the line. There's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to talk about. It's straight up. It's 50-50 down the line. The only thing to talk about is just the residual stuff, just the regular general stuff, the ring size, location, gloves, all that other stuff. How ESPN and Showtime are going to kind of, do it, as far as, the promotion goes. Just stuff like that. There's nothing else to go over besides that. And you beat Charlo, and boom, you're the man now. You're the undisputed fighter, you're the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. You've now been undisputed in 2 weight classes. You've been undisputed in 2 weight classes, and they gotta come see you now. They gotta come see you. You can even do it and still hold on to your belt at 147 pounds, because I'm sure the WBO will let you do that. They'll just have an interim bout where there's an interim champion somewhere, you still hold your belt. That's what he can do. That's an option that he has available to him. And I know people are like, oh, that's crazy. But it's not crazy. Why is it crazy? People trash Floyd Mayweather on a regular effing basis, yo. They piss on him on what he's done in his career on a regular freaking basis. This man used to weigh 147 pounds 2 months before his bouts. 2 months before his bouts. He used to consistently face champions coming off their biggest wins, top 10 pound for pound fighters that were 20 plus pounds bigger than him on fight night on a regular basis. Everybody was bigger than him for the most part. Even Manny Pacquiao hydrated to 154 pounds when he faced Floyd Mayweather Jr. Ortiz was 15 plus pounds bigger than him. Maidana, I think, was like 16 or 17 pounds heavier than him. Canelo Alvarez was 15 plus pounds bigger than him. Miguel Cotto was 15 plus pounds bigger than him. Oscar De La Hoya was 15 plus pounds bigger than him. No one complained about the weight. Shane Mosley was 15 plus pounds bigger than him. No one complained. Ricky Hatton weighed more than him on fight night. Yes, he did. Believe it or not, Marquez weighed more than him on fight night. Yes, believe it or not. Marquez hydrated to a higher weight than him. But forget about those two dudes. Those dudes are considered little when you're Floyd Mayweather, even though somebody weighs slightly heavier than you, they're considered little when you're facing guys your own weight. All these other guys weighed 15 to 20 pounds more than him on fight night. And no one said anything. And especially somebody like Canelo Alvarez. Right now, because anybody going to tell me that Charlo at 154 pounds, Jamel, is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez? Would they pick him to beat Canelo Alvarez? Canelo is considered to be over it. Floyd Mayweather fought that boy at 36, 37 years old. Again, with him being bigger than him, stronger than him. All these advantages, he faced him. He still faced him and beat him. So now, if Terrance Crawford is, quote, supposedly pound for pound the best fighter in the world, he should have no issue taking on someone or taking on two guys where he's not going to have the same disadvantages as Floyd did. He's taller than Floyd. He has longer arms than Floyd. I think he does. Floyd has some long ass arms. But I believe he actually does. I believe he actually has longer arms than Floyd. What's the problem? And he's not going to be 20 pounds, lighter than Charlo. He's not going to be 20 pounds lighter than Teixeira. So it's an option. You don't have to wait for them dudes. If you don't want to fight all these other guys, you're not going to take a 60-40 split versus somebody like a Earl Spence. You don't want to do none of that. You want to be on an equal playing field when it comes to the finances, everything of that nature. This is the route that you can take. And it's been done. Shane Mosley jumped up 2 weight classes to take on Oscar De La Hoya. Jumped from 135 all the way to 147 pounds, and he beat Oscar De La Hoya when Oscar De La Hoya was on top of his freaking game. He did that. We've seen Bernard Hopkins go from 160 all the way up to 175 pounds. We've seen him do that. We've seen him go up and come back down. We've seen him do all of that and be successful. So if this man is, quote, on that level, and he's as great as he wants to be, as supposedly he is, there shouldn't be no issue doing this stuff. There should be no, especially when there's another man that was doing it and he was getting trashed for it. He was getting bashed for it. Oh, he just picks fights that are easy for him. They're saying the fights are easy and all that other stuff. It should be not. There should be no problem in him, because we're talking about him facing guys that are on a lesser level of skill than the guys Floyd Mayweather faced. Jamel ain't a top 5 pound. He's not ranked as a top 5 pound for pound fighter. He's not. He's not a bona fide Hall of Famer. Well, he might actually be a bona fide Hall of Famer right now. especially after the next, if he wins his next fight. But this should not be an issue for Terrance Crawford. He has routes. He has things that he can do. He does have other routes. There's roads that are available for him that he can take. Unfortunately, for right now, he's choosing not to take any of them, but it's time, my brother. It's time to do something. And if you really want to do it, you really want to do one up on Earl Spence, this is an option that's available to him. Now, do I think he's going to do this? Hell no. I don't think he's going to be doing any of this thing. Honestly, being real, what I think he's going to do, I think he's going to continue to fight lower tier fighters until Earl Spence and Manny Pacquiao fight, and all three belts are on one side, and then they're probably at that point going to try to set up a fight with Earl Spence. Maybe. But yeah, I think they're going to try to set up a fight then. But they're still not going to do it unless they get a 50-50 split. They're going to say a 50-50 or nothing. That's going to be their viewpoint on it. But it's an option. Unfortunately, I don't see him taking it. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.